Okay, so we are live again. We got me and Jarod here, and we have had a week of things happening. And I want to make sure that you share with the people what you were sending me there midweek, because I think that's amazing. It's one of those things that I'm always sort of telling people, but it doesn't. You cannot really understand it until you experienced it, and I just kind of made a secret dance here when I got the message. So do you want to tell people about it?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I just randomly I made up this quote in my head, and the quote is "Feel power or greater than willpower," because I finally just started experiencing the cravings and not resisting them, not using willpower. So I made up this funny phrase, "Feel power," and yeah, I finally kind of experienced what she's been talking about, going on and on about constantly, and I finally just actually went with the process, and yeah, it was kind of amazing because it was a lot more useful than trying to resist it willfully. Um, yeah, so that was kind of the experience midweek, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah. So the one I was thinking about was actually the next one was the whole sentence. You just said that the less I resist the cravings, the easier it is to not go through with them.
Yes, that's
And it's
true.
like,
Hmm.
I mean, you heard me say it. You're like, yeah, yeah. And I was like, oh, it's actually the truth.
Mm,
And I just want to make a point of that because when I'm saying it, it's easy to just like, oh, yeah, well, maybe for you, but not
right.
for me. And then, boom, it just happens. And there is no specific thing that you need to do. It's just literally practicing. And then all of a sudden, it's just going to click into place. So I find that I'm so happy for you. I'm like, yes.
But
It-
unfortunately, the next day, I think I went wrong because I fasted all day, and then I got to nighttime and I was feeling my cravings. I was doing great, but it was overpowering, and I ended up going off plan, and that yeah, I know, heathen. Um,
Mhm.
and that lasted for a couple days. Um, I tried to I kept trying to feel the cravings, and it was just like, it's just, I'm in that process of just snowballing. And then I stopped the process altogether.
Mhm.
And, um, yeah, it, it became a lot harder to get back on the process. Like, I'm on the process right now. Like, I've, since last night, I've probably typed in on my phone, probably like 6 or 7 cravings. So I'm back on it, but yeah, it was hard to get back on it after I made a mistake. So I guess that's where we can kind of dive in.
Yeah. So that sounds like a good thing. How many cravings do you think you have had and allowed over this last week?
Let me see.
Or emotions, like in total, roughly?
Well, I have 65 written in my notes, and those vary from like, I don't know. Am I
Oh, you disappeared.
if I could multitask and look at my notes at the same time? I guess I can't. I was going to read some of them, but I don't think I can do that.
No, you disappeared and we couldn't hear you.
Okay. But yeah, some of them was like craving to have a piece of cake. And then the next one was like, had another craving as I was writing this craving once again about cake. And then it's just like 2 minutes later, the craving
Yeah.
continues, stuff like that. So I know that I had at least 65, but
Mm-hmm.
I know that there was like times when I couldn't write them down, and I had tons of them during work and I couldn't write them down. So, I mean, 65 plus, I don't know.
Yeah. And how many of those do you reckon were you allowing the craving, like when you had that realization, like it's actually quite easy when I'm not resisting it. Like, how many of those did you get that feeling of relief that it's actually not that hard to do?
Most of them.
Hmm.
Most of
That's
them.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
people, listen, like 65 cravings in a week, you can do it. It's possible.
It is.
And if you do another week of those, do you think that it's going to be hard to do?
So this week I'm really excited about because, well, I'm in like a super plan mode because I've got a wedding to go to in 25 days,
Yeah, okay.
and I want to lean up a little bit because I have this little shitty skinny gut that we've talked about a couple
Mm-hmm.
times, and I really want to like tackle as much of that as possible. So I do have like that carrot on the stick kind of thing going on. But also this next week I'm very excited about actually because I have an entire fucking week off of work. Like I am stoked for multiple reasons. Obvious reason number one is it's fucking week off work, so it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to get my sleep schedule back. As you can tell, I am no longer the cough monster. I am just Jared.
Hooray.
It's nice to just be fucking normal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I am looking forward to just getting reacclimated to normal life and getting back, really drilling in the morning routine and all these other things, getting my gym schedule back. So I'm probably gonna not make the mistake of fasting again because that just seemed to set me up for failure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I think I really enjoyed the process of writing all these cravings down.
That's even
Um,
better.
because I feel like writing them down, even though I'm not technically writing them, but I am recording.
Mm.
Um, it gives you that extra layer of, I don't know, oomph to doing
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Kind of makes it like a game. Oh, there was another one. Let's write it down. You know,
Yep.
and yeah. So.
For sure. And it's funny that if we go back to the fasting and how you fail, I remember that was probably 2, 3 weeks ago when you said that you were going to fast, etc. And we talked a little bit about that behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always wary of fasting because it can trigger those cravings that comes together with the hunger, and that can sort of be overpowering in the beginning when you're not really sure what to do. And I think you handled it well at the time from memory, but now you're like, maybe that wasn't the best thing to
Yeah.
do. So what happened? Tell me all about it.
Well, the first time I did the fast, I did 3 days, and then I ended
Yeah.
up going off plan for like 3 days. So it was like a
Okay, you
complete
did.
fucking waste. No, well, I can't remember exactly, but I know for a fact that I did go 3 days straight, and
Yeah.
then maybe like the next day, I definitely went straight off plan. So it was just a waste, really.
Hmm.
But this time it was. I'm trying to remember what happened. Let's see. I was going the whole day, and then yeah, I was on the way to work, and we went to the gas station like we always do, and I'm trying to remember that exact moment. It's hard for me to remember. This week's been a blur. Um, I don't know. I was feeling the craving. I was like, yeah. Oh, no. It was after work. It was after work. Um, the whole night I was thinking about this stupid breakfast sandwich we get sometimes. Like it's like two waffles smash. It's like the waffles are the bread, right? And then it's like cheese, egg, sausage. So it's like two waffles, syrup. Yeah. Ugh. And the whole night I'm just thinking about it. I was like going nuts. And it's a mixture of genuine hunger. So I'm pretty hungry at this point.
Hmm.
And just that stupid craving. And then um we're on the way back, and then my boss looks at me, he's like, "You want to stop and get a sizzly?" And I just looked at him. I've been thinking about it constantly, and I'm like, fuck yeah. And like as soon as I said that, it was just like there was the point of no return. I was gonna do it. And then even as we were going there, I was like, I'm still feeling the craving. I'm still doing it. I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing the process. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, but you're gonna fucking yeah, you're feeling the craving, but you know you're gonna go through with the craving. So it just ended up happening, and I kind of just stayed off the path for like a couple days, and yeah, so
Okay, so he asked you if you wanted to stop for, what did you call it? A sizzly?
yeah, it's called a sizzly. That's what they,
Interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And you were like, heck yeah. Did
yeah.
that heck yeah come out straight away, like an automatic response? Or did you sort of think about it and you were like, "Ah, fuck it. I'm just
I
gonna do
think there
it."
was like a small eternity between the answer and the
A small eternity.
yeah. In my brain, it was like this gnarly battle that in my mind probably lasted 18,000 years, but in real
Hmm.
time, it was like not that long.
But you were
Um,
actually aware of like there is a choice here and I'm just gonna be hedonistic and do it.
yes,
Yeah. Okay.
I think that was the way.
Yeah. Uh, that is an improvement from where you could have been though.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time when someone is asking us something, we just the autopilot just kicks in straight away and we're like, "Yep, I'm on
Mm-hmm.
board." And then we
Mm-hmm.
start thinking about it. So I would like to just dig into what actually happened here because now you get a choice. Like if you could go back in time and do this again, you're in the car with your boss, he's asking you the question,
Mm-hmm.
would you still say heck yeah? Or would you want to choose something different in that moment?
I mean, right now, of course, I would definitely want to choose something different.
Okay.
100%.
So you would do it again if you were in that situation right now?
I would do what?
Say yes if that happened right now.
No, I would say no.
You would say no.
Yeah,
Okay. Why?
because that's what I truly want to do.
Okay. So why do you think that you didn't say no when he asked you?
Um, let's think about it. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. It's just stupidity, familiarity, typical stuff. Once again, fasted state after working. You just want some type of pleasure, and yeah, just made a bad choice.
Okay. So why do you think that you would do it differently if that happened now?
I mean, because I mean, I don't know. It's a hypothetical. It's weird. I just, if I mean,
You're gonna be in similar situations again.
yeah, for sure.
So you can imagine like a similar situation or whatever. What would why would you say no the next time it happens?
Well, in this situation specifically, I guess it's one. I want to try to get as in shape as possible between now and the wedding that I'm going to go to.
Hmm.
So I think that's going to be a big driver. I also want to get more cravings recorded this week, actual cravings that I'm sitting with and not giving into. I want to get more of those. I want to try to beat my record between now and next week.
But you did record that craving, didn't you?
I
Sort
think
of
so.
in your head
Yeah,
at
yeah,
least.
yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
you can still
I
do
think
that and eat it.
I actually remembered on my phone. It was like want a sizzly, and then it was like 2 minutes later, still want the sizzly, and then it was like 5 minutes later, it's like still want the it was like there was a lot for that one specifically. So that one was pretty pestering. And I think next time I don't think I'm gonna fast anymore between now and then. So I'm gonna try to just you know not have cravings that are actually genuine hunger cravings, so they're kind of deceitful.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna try not to set myself up in that type of failure. Um, yeah, that's probably the biggest reasons why I would make a different decision.
So at the moment, it's more important to get in shape for the wedding.
I mean,
You,
that's a big driver.
yeah.
Obviously, my ultimate goal is to beat this addiction, and the higher why is definitely something that I need to be more mindful of getting back to the forefront of my mind, really making that a permanent fixture, something that my brain goes to more often than just the immediate, um, what is it? The immediate running towards the instant gratification thoughts. I need to more purposefully try to fixate this big why in my head. So my mind automatically runs to it more readily than the other stuff.
Hmm.
So that needs to be something that I need to do more. Which kind of sounds like willpower, but at the same time, I think it's just I don't know. I just think it's something I need to do because it's gonna help me. I don't think it's really. I kind of think it's willpower, but I don't at the same time because it's the big reason why I'm doing this. You know?
Yeah, you're talking about it as if it's something that you don't want to do that you need to do. Like,
Yeah.
I need to get that happening, but I don't really want to.
I don't know if it's something I don't want. It's just something that I kind of just forget about.
Yeah. So that's going to
So.
be put on your homework list as well, and we can talk about that a little bit more later. But I want to stay with the what was actually happening.
Uh-huh.
I'm just going to write that down so I don't forget about it. So
Just
when this
just
actually
just give
happened,
me
and
1 second.
yeah,
Sorry.
okay, yeah, go on. Then I can chat on the chat instead. So yes, American Wagyu and French cheese. I don't like French cheese, but Wagyu is really nice. Hi, Kimmy.
I apologize. I just was absolutely dying to use the bathroom.
Be
uh,
prepared, men.
I have like I'm a 33-year-old man, but I have the bladder of like a 95-year-old, so it's just sometimes I gotta go a lot. So,
Or maybe you drink
anywho,
too much.
could be a mixture of both. I did have like 6 cups of coffee today because yeah, I am sleep deprived. So,
That would do it for anyone.
yeah,
Okay, so you didn't say no because obviously you want to be in shape and you would like to think about your bigger reason, but you didn't do it last time that happened. And you're going to try to not be hungry so that the cravings are not there because of the hunger, because that's just going to make it worse. And you want to beat your own old record from last week with the cravings. So all
yes,
of this is like the good reasons, but what I was going to say is like none of these are like deep reasons for why. And that's, I'm glad that you brought it up, that you want to keep thinking about your bigger why, because we need to bring in something better than those reasons, because that's all surface level.
yeah,
Because your brain could very easily switch to, well, whatever, I failed, I can just fast for a day and I'm going to make up for that, like metabolically.
yeah,
It's super easy to go into that. So I would like you to just decide right now, are you going to fast before the wedding again? Anything at all? Or are we just going to ditch that and then stick with it? Because I don't want you to start bringing any of those strategies into this because it's not helpful.
right. No, I don't think I'm going to do that. No, let's just not do that. I
Okay.
want to just, yeah, fuck the fasting.
Fuck the fasting. We'll just skip that. And that's fine. I mean, if you want to do fasting, then that is not a problem. But what the problem here is just like where your thoughts are going and what you're going to use to justify doing whatever you want to do in the moment. And when you're just focusing on like, yeah, I want to get in better shape, you're easily getting into, yeah, let's do 3 days of fasting, and then what you told me before is like, yeah, I did 3 days of fasting and then I did 3 days of eating, so it was for nothing. That just
Hmm.
tells me like the only result that you wanted from the fasting was to actually improve your body composition. You didn't think about the health effects that you're getting from fasting or anything like that, because you're still getting that. But you're like, it was for
Yeah.
nothing.
Hmm.
So
I
what?
mean, honestly, I do think I do want to do some fasting in this next 3 weeks, just because I think it's going to help me reach my goal more.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I need to like, I really, if I'm going to do it, I need to make a plan around it.
Yeah.
And because I don't know, a good 72 would be nice. Another 72 between now and then would be nice, just because it is extremely healthy, I think, and it would help me reach my goal. But I really need to like plan around it, and I would want to plan around it. Like it would be a really interesting time for craving, experimenting,
Mm-hmm.
not experimenting. I don't know if that's the word, but just observing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I just need to like make a plan around it and stick to it. And if I'm not gonna actually go through with the fast, just make sure that I'm sticking with my actual on plan eating.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be more complicated than that.
Yeah,
You're like, I'm not going to do it because then I'm going to be hungry and then might fail.
right.
And that's kind of the wrong reason to not do it.
Yeah, and I've done it before, so it's I the worst thing that's ever happened to me through a fast was like a headache, and it's like nothing. It's a headache.
Mm.
So I'm fully confident that I could do it. It doesn't even have to be a 72. Like I like the 72 just because of I think it's like the best type of longer fast for just someone that's not extremely overweight. I think it's got the biggest bang for the buck.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just needs to be structured and needs to have a plan, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay. So let me rephrase that question and say, are you going to do any fasting between now and next week
Between now and next week,
when we are meeting again
uh between
in
now
the
and
next
next
7
week,
days?
I think I'd like to have a 24 between now and then.
Okay. Let's decide that. You're going to do one 24-hour fast, no more fasting than that. And what happens when you're doing the fasting?
What happens when I'm going to do the 24?
Mm-hmm. And especially when you're breaking the fast.
So when I break the fast, 24 is not really anything. I don't think I need to break into it slowly. So I'm just gonna have probably a dozen raw eggs, and
Jesus.
that's what I had.
Struggling.
That's what I had. Yeah, that's what I had this morning. Or when was that? Yeah, it was this morning ish after I worked out. So
Yeah.
probably have that, and that's quite satiating. That's like around 840 calories, and I think it's 72 grams of protein and like 60 grams of fat. It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
Nice little post workout, in my opinion. So, yeah, probably do something like that, or just have a steak. The benefit of that, of being fasted, is that anything tastes good. So I know it's going to taste good, right? So,
Yeah. So would you normally have a problem sticking with a good diet after doing a 24-hour, or is it just after the longer ones?
it's usually after longer ones.
Okay. But we can just decide that you're going to do a 24-hour. I mean, you don't have to do it, but if you do a 24-hour, you're going to break it with some eggs or steak or something that is
On plan.
good on your plan.
Right.
And if you have any cravings for other shit,
During the fast, or just, yeah, right? During the
no,
fast,
anytime.
just
Or
write them
after.
down. Get them
Yeah.
down. Get them down. Write them down. Feel them. Experience them.
Because you want to break your record from the last week.
That's a part of the reason. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, it's a good reason.
I think so. Yeah, a little
It's not necessarily a good reason, but it's a good focus.
friendly self competition.
Yeah. Okay. I'm completely on board with that. Right. what I would like you to do is just keep your focus on the things that are important. And if one of them is, I'm going to do this and I'm going to get more cravings in than I did last week, fine. And then we can come to the other focus is whenever you have a craving, start bring in your big reason. Like
Okay.
every time you have it, you feel the craving and then think about the reason.
So that doesn't count as willpower.
No,
Okay.
I don't care how, as long as you're not resisting the craving or ignore it in some way, like, or distracting yourself with things that are not sustainable. If you distract yourself with your reason every time it happens and that makes you feel motivated to continue doing it, I'm good with that.
Okay.
As long as it's a good reason. So it can't be a reason like whenever I reach 72 kilos or whatever,
What is that?
then
What is a kilo?
I
How
don't.
much is that in pounds? Do you know?
So 1 pound is 454 grams. So a kilo is just a bit over 2 pounds.
So a kilo is roughly double a pound.
Yeah, roughly a little bit more. How much do
Okay.
you weigh?
I think about right now about 190.
Uh,
When I
so that's
did the
86 kilos.
okay, okay.
But whatever, it doesn't matter what the number is. I just picked a number.
That's pretty
So
underweight, I guess.
okay, sorry, 82 then. Let's go for 82. And then you hit 82 and you can't really use that anymore. And that's the only way that you've been able to not have the cravings. Then that's not going to work ongoingly. But
Hmm.
if you always kind of redirecting to like, this is the person I want to be, because that's who you really truly want to be and how you want to show up in the world or whatever, that's not really going to change because it's sort of part of your values and your kind of beliefs that you like. So even if that changes slightly, you can just tweak your thoughts when you're having those cravings. So if that works, fine. I still want you to learn how to feel them because you're going to have other emotions and that's just going to be like helpful for you in life in general,
Hmm.
but not a problem. That's just
So
motivation.
I have this thing that I do, this visualization I have of me in the future.
Excellent.
It's like when it's this ongoing visualization I've been trying to have semi regularly of me and my perfect life, and it's after I've already gotten out of bed um, from my smoking hot wife, and I go to the bathroom for my first pee of the day, but I look in the mirror and I notice my peak physique, and I start as my future self. I start to thank me right now, the me that's talking to you right now. I
Mm,
start to thank that guy because that's the guy that actually started to really take shit seriously.
yeah.
And so it's like this weird quantum crazy just timeline thing. And it really makes me kind of emotional because um, I don't know, because it's just it's like my higher self thanking me right now.
Yes.
And it's a pretty powerful experience because I do kind of like I'm reading about how like whenever you get into these deep types of visualizations or just like imagination, like your brain can't literally tell the difference. Like it thinks
Yeah.
that that's now. Like
Yeah.
it can't differentiate. Um, so I think that's gonna be kind of like how I do this why thing. I thought about this like I think it was 3 or 4 days ago. I think that's going to be how I get the why more ingrained. I think I'm just
Yeah.
gonna, as the cravings come, I'm gonna go into that visualization of me looking in the mirror and doing that, like thanking me for finally taking that why seriously. Because, and I say, as future me, I say, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here, type shit, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I love using that, and you can use it in two ways. So the way that you're doing it, but you can also use your future self to ask that person, like when you're feeling confused or like it's really hard to do or whatever it is, just ask your future self, like, how did you do it? And
Mm,
have him answer.
yeah, I like that.
And he'll be like, well, you just have to feel uncomfortable. Suck it up, buttercup.
Right.
Pretty much. I mean, it's so simple when you're asking your future self who has already done it, who's already there.
He's
They're
really
like,
good
yeah, it
at it.
wasn't nice all the time, but we got here. So that's pretty. I love that. So visualize more. That's for everyone who's watching as well. Whatever you want to do. So that's what we're going to do. We're not getting to there just yet necessarily, but before you go to that wedding, I want you to visualize what it is to go to that wedding and sticking with your plan. So if you want to start that already, you can do that. But you can do that with everything when you are going to be anywhere where you think this is going to be challenging. You just start visualizing and in as much detail as you possibly can what it's going to be like, what people might say, how you are going to react, and also how you're going to feel when you are giving your response like, no, I'm not going to eat that. Because
Right.
often we get very defensive. So we need to practice before we go there to just say no and be at peace with saying no. And as you said, your brain doesn't really know that this isn't the reality. So you have already actually gone through that experience several times before you go there.
Right. Exactly.
So that's, yeah, it's a very, very powerful tool. I love it. So the next time your boss is like, hey, you want a sizzly?
Take a quick second and ask my future self, what would you do? Or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then say,
Yeah.
fuck no, instead of fuck yeah.
Yeah. Fuck no. That's not the way to get to where I want to be.
Right.
And you're going to feel like shit saying no. And you're going to have a lot of thoughts like, shit, this would have been so nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
And now I'm just want to like, my whole skin is crawling, and that's okay. This is what we have
The
to do to get to there.
the pressure in the stomach, the heaty feeling, the
Mm.
all that fantastic frivolity going on inside of me.
Yeah. You're going to be like, bring it on.
Yeah. Just feel it. Just feel
Yeah.
it. Bask in it.
I'll give you double count if that happens this week. If it happens and you're just feeling all that uncomfortableness that happens when you say no to your boss asking if you want that sizzly, you get to count it twice. It's worth double.
That's two craving points.
Yeah,
Oh,
two
perfect.
craving points.
All right. That sounds like a
Because
good
it's gonna
one.
be twice, well, probably more than twice as uncomfortable as a normal craving.
Well, unfortunately, I think I only have one opportunity to do that because tonight's my last night of work.
Oh,
So we'll look
oh
for
well.
it. We'll look for it.
Anyhow, you get double points next time, even if it's not during next week.
We got a few weeks ahead of us still, so until this is over. So
Yeah, but with the amount of cravings you had, I imagine. I mean, I'm not surprised that you had that realization this week if you had at least 65 cravings, because that's just bound to happen. Like when you get that many cravings in, it's happening. So, other than that, what happened during those 2 weeks? Oh, sorry, 2 days after you had that sickly?
um, so definitely some jerking off. Unfortunately,
Hmm.
that came too. No pun intended. Um, and then just some more off-plan eating. I think the same exact thing happened the next night. It just got shit before work, got shit after work, um, and at that point, I just wasn't doing the process at all. It was just I am right back to my old tricks. So yeah,
So let me ask you this: is it important for you to do the no fap and the food, or
yes,
is one more important than the other?
I would love to do them both because to me it feels like if I'm letting one stay there, then I'm not truly addressing the issue. because I'm great at abstaining from one thing but letting another thing still be there. And to me, that
Hmm.
just doesn't seem like, it just feels like I know that it could potentially sound like I'm holding myself to too much of a standard, but at the same time, I don't know. I've just always had success at tackling one thing, but always letting something be there. So it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like I'm doing anything if I'm not getting them both done, if that makes
But we
sense.
are doing something different now, and that's allowing yourself to feel.
Yes, that's
So
true.
even if you did one at a time,
Mm-hmm.
you would still get all the repetitions in, and
Mm-hmm.
then you just apply it to a new thing once you're finished with the first one. Once you're feeling like I got this.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still gonna go for both,
Okay.
but because I think it gives me more opportunity to feel more cravings,
Yeah.
I just need to, um, I need to really get down I just need to have a better strategy of when I make a mistake in one of the areas, so I don't
Hmm.
just fuck off into both, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, you get to choose. I'm more interested in. It sounds like your reason for wanting to do both is that you are scared that what we're doing is not going to be efficient enough if we're not doing both.
I don't. I guess I don't really understand what you're saying.
Was it Swinglish? Okay, so what we're doing,
Uh huh.
like when I'm talking about it, it's just like we are addressing the root cause, which is just having a craving, no matter
Uh
what
huh.
that craving is.
Uh huh.
So even if you continue to eat and jerking off and doing all the things,
Uh huh.
you could still learn this and have great results. But you're like in your head, it's like, well, I've abstained from one before and continue doing the others. So if I do that, I'm gonna fail, and this is not gonna work for me.
So I guess what I'm asking, I guess what I'm maybe not understanding is
Mm.
what exactly you were asking about doing one but not the other.
No, I was more commenting on that it didn't sound like the reason for you wanting to do both was a good reason. It sounded like that reason was that you're scared that this is not going to work for you unless you do both.
Oh, maybe I was. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know what we're. Yeah, I don't know what we're getting at right now. I just know that I want to. For me, my plan right now is just
Mm,
to feel the cravings for every single thing that happens to me that I don't want to do. Don't want to pick
yeah,
on my fingers. I don't want to bite my nails. I don't want to jerk off. I don't want to eat shit. I don't want to sleep excessively and sit on YouTube and watch stupid shit for hours. So those are things I would like to eliminate out of my life.
yeah,
So my goal is to just feel the cravings for when those things arise. That's what I'd like to
okay,
do for the next six
yep.
months.
No, we can do that.
Yeah,
I just want to check. And you're like,
yeah.
nope, 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 I want to do it this way. And that's fine. I'm not going to force you to do something different. I just want to poke a little bit and see what's behind it. So let's say we are doing that.
I
And
think I
this,
think I think what I thought you meant. I'm sorry to interrupt. I think what I thought you meant, or what you were suggesting, is that I should just keep jerking off without any
I
reprise.
might have expressed myself that way to sort of provoke you a little bit
Okay.
to see what will come out.
Just go on a fat fest. That's what I guess that's what I was hearing you say, but maybe that's what you were really saying. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I think you successfully provoked me though.
Yeah. You're like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
There's something wrong here. I don't I don't
This
know
does
what you're
not
saying.
compute. Blue screen error. Yes.
Which is fine. But if I'm asking it, if I, well, when I'm asking you that way, like your true feelings about a man is going to come out. And it sort of did. So it was successful.
Perfect.
So what was I going to say? Now I lost my train of thought. Um, yeah, so if you this week just continue doing what you have been doing and your focus is to just have as many cravings, allowed cravings as possible.
Uh huh.
Let's say you fail again.
Okay.
What happens then? What are we going to do? Now we want to think about what to do if you fail.
Well, I think what I can do tonight while I'm working is to I don't want to do this, but I do want to do this. I want to visualize myself having a mistake or something, and
Mm-hmm.
then just accepting it and moving on, and then I don't know, feeling the cravings. That sounds pretty generic, but I mean, I think we talked about this last time, but I need to just I needed to have another visualization with the higher self. I think I need to hang out with my higher self a little bit, have a little chill sesh, and just talk to him a little bit about it, and say, "How did you finally fucking stop binging or going into these, stupid little snowball fests after you screwed up a little bit?" He's like, "Bro, you just gotta, I don't think I'll say bro at that point. I think I'll be over the bro." So I don't know, but I'll just talk to myself. I'll kind of get lost in the visualization. I'll probably cry because I often cry when I go through these visualizations. As weird as that sounds, but yeah, I just try to get as emotional with it as possible, and I think I'll just have a deep conversation with myself. That's my plan. Now, I should probably one thing I should think to do is to just immediately send you a message when the mistake happens,
Mm-hmm.
if it happens.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. And just have that pattern interrupt. Um, those are two things that I'm thinking.
Okay, so I'm trying to. Let's see. I have actually a worksheet that I that you can use if you're making a mistake, which can be quite handy. So I'm just going to read the questions for you, and if you want, I can send it to you.
Sure.
So the first thing is that you just have a look at what happened. Like, it's pretty much what we're doing here when we explore, like, what happened last time. It's like, okay, we stopped. He asked me if I wanted this, and I ate that. But then you kind of continued, and then you're looking at what the trigger was, obviously, and what thoughts you had in the moment. So you just go back and you like really have a look at this whole habit loop and where it went wrong. Because even if you know about your triggers and the thoughts that you normally have, doesn't mean that you are always able to resist it. So when you were in the situation with your boss, it was like a split second, and you just went to a fuck it.
All right.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna have it, like,
Mm-hmm.
and that might be like one of the worst thoughts for you to have. That maybe every time you have the fuck it thought, you're just gonna go ahead and actually follow through on that craving, and that could be quite good to just know. So the more awareness you get around what actually happened when you failed, the better you're going to be at preventing it the next time.
Mm-hmm.
And then also another question is like, did you try to resist or did you just react in the moment? So I asked you, and you were like, well, I was aware of it for like a micro eternity.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the next question is, did you try to allow the craving, or what worked and what didn't work? And then obviously, what will you do the next time? So that's would be my preference, that you really, I think you are doing some of these, but I also feel like when you have had that one transgression and you are in the fuck it mode, you're like, yeah, now we're having a break before I go back to it, and you don't want to
Right.
think about it at all. So by just like committing to actually filling out this worksheet for yourself, you can, or share it with me if you want. You don't have to, it's completely up to you. You just like drawing awareness back to what is actually happening right now. And if you know that if I go to fuck it, I'm gonna have to fill in this fucking worksheet. That might be enough to just like throw you off.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So are
I
you
like
up for
that.
that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I'll send that to you once we're done.
Okay.
So absolutely, do your visualization, like
Yeah.
send me a message, do all
Yep.
the things, and also commit to using the worksheet if you're making a mistake. And I would like that to be a commitment, on an ongoing commitment from now on.
The worksheet or all three?
The worksheet specifically is what I'm talking about, but
Okay.
whatever is working, like if you notice that, hey, I could actually stop this from happening by just visualizing in the moment, why would you not do it?
Sure. It's not that hard,
For some people it is.
I guess.
I know that anything that means extra work for me is kind of off-putting. I don't know if
Okay.
that's the case for you, but
I
if it's like,
mean, yeah.
oh,
But I
shit,
mean,
if
it's just thinking though. I mean, I
yeah,
guess it does take some effort, but yeah.
yeah. But since you do have that micro awareness, like if you just like, "Ah, shit, if I go through with this, I'm gonna have to fill in that worksheet," it just gives you an extra opportunity to not do it.
Yeah, it's just
And for me, that's enough. Like, oh, Jesus, I can't be fucked with that. Then I'm like, yeah,
right,
good.
right.
That was all I needed. And it might be all you need or not. I don't know. But if not, then I get to read the worksheet and all good. You do.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm down.
You down. Sweet. We're just like filling in your homework here. It's getting bigger and bigger. But you have a week off, so you have time to do it all.
Yes.
Okay, so what else? Anything else going on this week? How did you while you were during those 2 days, were you completely shut off or did you like, well, let's start tomorrow, but not right now? What happened?
Um, yeah, I guess I kept planning on starting it, but um, I guess I just procrastinated. Procrastination kicked in,
Hmm.
and last night before work, I was like, "Yeah, let's just let's get back to this whole feeling thing," and I was doing pretty good with that. And then once we got to the gas station, started looking at the different options. I'm like, "Yeah, I haven't tried that one yet. Nah, we're not gonna do this anymore." Smash that bitch up, and then just yeah, it was back to the races. So um, yeah, and after work, he went to the gas station, and well, we both went together, obviously, but I just kind of walked around, and I was definitely in feeling mode at that point, and I just kind of let it happen. So,
Mm,
and then
sweet.
today was pretty gnarly because I tried to lay down to go to sleep, and that was uh that was a fucking joke. And so I'm laying there trying to sleep, trying to sleep, trying to sleep, trying to sleep. Toss to the right, toss to the left. 10 minutes, 10 seconds later, toss to the right, onwards and forwards, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm pissed. I'm pissed that I can't sleep. So I'm gonna go on DoorDash right now. I'm gonna get two double quarter pounders with fries. I'm gonna get a sweet tea, and then I'm gonna go eat some birthday cake afterwards. It sounds great. Probably have a jerky worky session afterwards, and that sounds just fantastic. And I was all the way to the place the order button. I'm like, you know what? Let's just feel this for a second. Let's feel this for a second. Let's just chill. Let's chill and fill. We'll chill and fill. And and I just sat there with it. I was like, you know what? This is fucking stupid. If I do this, like this is something that would cost like $20 if I would go and pick it up, and it's costing me like $35 to do delivery right now. Like, first off, you're a piece of shit. Like, it's literally like 2 seconds down the street. Get in your ass in the car and go. But so that was part of it. But mostly, I was just sitting there with it for a while. I was like, and then I just, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna get this in the notes.
Yes.
We're gonna do this. And so I wrote down all the different cravings that were pertaining with that, and it was good. It felt peaceful again, and it was gone. So that
So it
was
can happen.
yeah, and that tells me that because that's me under a lot of duress because I've not slept in almost 24 hours. So when I'm really sleepy, that's when the cravings and that's when I guess my
Mm,
inhibitions are at the worst, and that's when I'm typically, susceptible to doing this. So
yeah.
I mean, I think it was a pretty good moment. So I think that kind of gives me it kind of was like a wind in my sail, as to say, because yeah, it was a difficult craving, but I just kind of I didn't I mean, I did resist it with all that stuff that I said, but mostly I was really just feeling it.
Yeah.
And once again, you know, as paradoxical as it sounds, the less you do, the easier it is. It's weird.
And was this the turning point?
The turning point to get back on track was mostly last night at work because I ate the shit from the gas station and I was like, fuck, here we are again. And and I think but a big turning point was I completely forgot that the wedding was really close. And then I looked at, I was like, how many days until January 4th on my phone? And it said 25. I was like, fuck. Because I had planned, like, back when I finally knew when I got my plane ticket, it was like in October. I was like, fuck, I got 3 months. I'm going to get ripped. And here we are in December, and I'm still got fucking stupid skinny ass gut. And I'm like, come on, bro. Like, what the hell happened? You had 3 months. Now you got less than a month. Like, come on. Come on.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Right. I don't like that that was the reason that you managed to turn it around, but I'll take that for now, and we're just gonna
Hopefully we
work
have
on
better reasons later. But yeah.
yeah. So this week you are gonna keep thinking about and connecting with your bigger why. So hopefully we can sort of get that to be the motivation that you need when and if something happens. Because
Yes.
otherwise, after the wedding, we all know what's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. For
Like now,
sure.
show my 6 abs to everyone. So let's just enjoy it now. I've been suffering for weeks.
I've been such a
To your
good boy.
point.
I deserve a treat.
Mm,
No.
exactly.
Yes.
So you've been a good boy. You deserve to keep looking good.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that is much better. And I think yeah, we talked about that. So
Somebody
there is
said,
a lot
"Why
of
am I in bed?" Because I
why are
want to
you
be
in
in
bed?
bed. Because I haven't
Well,
slept in 24 hours. I'm thinking
exactly.
I'm hoping to get a nap in after this. So that's the big reason.
That's why. Oh, Shelley asked that. That is a good reason. Yeah. You can also just start paying attention to your thoughts because a lot of the time when you're talking, like when you said, when you did the fasting for the 3 days and then you had 3 days with just off plan eating and it was a waste and everything is just very black and white. Like, if I don't follow through, I've just wasted a lot of time as if that time spent doing something that you wanted to do is then somehow not counting at all.
Right.
So I would like you to start getting aware of that and sort of appreciate and give yourself some credit for when I mean you had 65 cravings and most of them were allowed. Like
Mhm.
that is hard work. Even though when you do it right, it doesn't feel as hard as we noticed. But it's still
Right.
hard work. Like and it requires focus. So I am not worried at all about you like let's just go for that sizzly and then turning off because you have still made a lot of progress. And I just want you to recognize that yourself as well that, yeah, you didn't get the outcome and the result that you wanted this week, maybe. But from my point of view, we are still working and we're making a lot of progress with what's underlying there. And that's what I'm mostly bothered about. So I can understand why you don't want to do it. I can understand why you're disappointed. And we can be disappointed. But
Right.
don't forget the progress that you made.
Mm-hmm.
Are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you just like, yeah, I'll just nod because she says so?
No, no, I'm right here.
Good. Okay, anything else that you want to bring up?
Mm, no, I guess we just kind of recap the homework for the week.
Yeah, as many cravings as you can, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're going to forget about that. Like
Hmm.
more than 65.
Yep.
Keep thinking and connecting with your bigger why. So whenever you have a craving, you allow it and you think about your bigger why. And
Right.
in whatever form that might just be a visualization for you, like thinking about who you're going to become.
Right. Connecting with that.
Yeah, you can do that at the same time, doesn't matter. And then obviously you committed to filling in the worksheet if you're failing again.
Yes.
Those are the three. Have you got it?
Yep.
Do we remember that?
I think so.
Excellent. Yeah, 65. Wow. Exactly. That's. I don't think I actually have had a client telling me that they've ever had 65 cravings in a week. So I think you got the record here.
I have proof too. So.
Yeah, send it. No, don't send it to me. I'm gonna be like, whoa. Yeah. So what I'm doing in like the group program that I'm doing now, I'm gonna have everyone go through and actually have 100 allowed cravings, and that's the goal. And
Okay.
I'm giving them 6 weeks to do that.
Oh fuck,
And
that's easy for me.
yeah, you're gonna be like, what? I have the 6 week, so I'm gonna have
I have almost in
500
6 days. I can do
cravings.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So after 100 allowed cravings, you should be in pretty good shape. You should not have to sit and sort of, it should come almost naturally to you that you're just allowing it. It should be more or less on autopilot.
Yeah.
You
I
might
really
still
want to make that
fail.
subconscious. Yep.
Yeah, you might still fail because there are triggers and you're going to choose to go with those. And that's a
Hmm.
completely different issue.
Right.
And but most of the time, for most of the cravings that aren't super like strong, you're just gonna go with it and it's just gonna happen and you're gonna be cool. So I would be interested to see where you are after this week if you have another 65 or more.
Oh, I'm gonna have another 65 or more. Trust me. I'm going to.
I'm not failing.
Nope.
And that's the mindset. Like, I'm not failing. It's not an option.
Right.
It's not an option that I'm ever going to fail. Like, if you had gone in with that attitude to the gas station, like, seriously, go fuck yourself. I'm not going to fail. It's not happening. Like, I'm working on my 6 pack here for in 25 days.
Yep. But that's not a good enough reason.
It
But
isn't
it works for now.
not big reason, but
It's one
it's
of the
it's a,
reasons.
one of the steps on the way to your bigger reason. It's just like getting your mind to being like, this is what I'm doing. It's not an option. If someone puts a piece of chocolate cake in front of me, I'm like, I'm not touching that because I've said I'm gonna be sugar free for a year. Being sugar free for a year is not a good reason. It's just a partial reason, something that I use right now, or I used it in the beginning of the year and was like, this is what's gonna motivate me right now. But I have a bigger goal behind that I also connect to. But if someone puts that in front of me, I'm like, nope, I'm not having any sugar until the 31st of December 2022. Just, it doesn't even, I don't even entertain the thought of actually having it. And you're like, I'm definitely having 65 or more.
Yep.
So that's just like, take that and try to apply that to all the foods that you don't want to eat. Like the same determination that you're having. Because I believed you. You were like, who do you think you are? Of course I'm going to have more than 65. Like failing here is not an option.
Nope.
So if you can just take that, transfer it to the other stuff, you're going to be pretty good.
Yeah. And I believed it too when I said it because I know it's true.
Yeah, I heard that you believed it.
Yep.
I didn't doubt you. That's why I was laughing. I was like, yeah, okay, we're good then. So see, okay, I can't read all the comments, but all you people, thank you so much for being here and actually being active in the chat, even if we don't have time to talk too much to you when we're doing coaching, but it's always good to have you here. So are we all clear on what we're doing, or you and me at least?
I'm absolutely crystal.
Excellent. So I'll see you all next week then. You take
Later.
care. Bye.